there's a little bit of an extra buzz in the air tonight here in Philly because the number 11 Utah Utes have made their way to Hagan Arena to take on the undefeated St. Joseph's Hawks. Hi, everybody. Along with Rini Shields, I'm Pat McCarthy. And Rini, this is one of those games that has been circled on the calendar for quite some time, and it's an opportunity for this upstart St. Joseph's team to take on one of the best teams in the country.
Utah coming in, scoring at a high clip, 99 points per game, scoring 100 points in 5 games or more. But most importantly about Utah, they shoot at a 55% clip from the field.
And one of the reasons that the Utes are able to score at such a high clip is because they have arguably one of the top players in the country in Alyssa Feely.
Feely is just one of those players that's come along once in every 10 years. The player of the year in the Pac-12 last season. She returns to the Utes in this 23-24 season.
23 points last time out for the reigning Pac-12 player of the year against BYU. On the other side for St. Joe's, the Hawks have a pretty good forward in their own in Laura Siegler.
They certainly do. Rebounding the ball at a high clip, 11 per game, and scoring both on the inside and the outside at 12 points per game. What a season she's having.
4 double-doubles already, 7 and 11 last time out against BU. When we come back to Philadelphia, lineups and the opening tip between the Hawks and the Utes. That's coming up next.
You will be nervous. You'll make mistakes. But in spite of that, you will keep going. Here, among these stones and walkways, you will test, build, and break, fall into the unexpected, and pick up something new. Here, filled with energy and passion, you will find your voice, clear the air, and discover the strength to make an impact. Here, at St. Joseph's University, you will.
Step into the world of Atlantic 10 basketball. Witness the nation's finest women athletes rise to greatness under the brightest lights. Feel the rush of adrenaline. Embrace the thrill of competition. Here, you'll find champions on the court and winners in the classroom, embodying what it means to be a true student athlete. Experience A10 women's basketball, where passion meets excellence.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider and team behind the St. Joe's team. By Mainline Health, where doctors approach care the only way they know how, human to human. And by Life Brand, protect your future from your social media past.
Welcome back to Hagan Arena as we get set for the Utes and the Hawks. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. And we'll start for the visitors. The Utah Utes entering tonight at 7-1 and led by Lynn Roberts and Rini. We talked about Alyssa Feely at the top of this broadcast. It's going to be really interesting to see how Cindy Griffin decides to guard one of the top scorers in the country.
Absolutely. This is a challenge for the Hawks. They've seen a lot of bigs in the past, but nothing with the likes of Feely. She's just so talented offensively.
And it's worth noting Utah's without 2 starters for tonight's game. Izzy Palmer's out for the 6th consecutive game, and Gianna Deepkins is out for this season, which is a massive blow for this Ute squad.
So many years, they really extend the floor for this Utah team. They shoot threes at a high clip. Unfortunately for them, they're not in the game tonight. That's a big boost for the Hawks. However, don't be surprised if those 2 that step in are just as good as the 2 that are not playing.
All right, let's take a look at the starters for St. Joseph's, and it's the same starting 5 that we've seen all season for Cindy Griffin. And those forwards right there, Laura Siegler and Talia Brugler, are going to have to step up tonight.
Absolutely. They really have to keep coming off the boards. And all this Utah team, they really rebound aggressively. This is an aggressive team that likes to score at a high clip.
Utah is a team averaging right around 99 points per ball game. The top scoring team in the country. You see Julia Nystrom being introduced for St. Joseph's. And this Hawks team, one thing that they do very well, they defend incredibly well. Just 52 points per game, but they haven't seen an offense like they'll see tonight.
They certainly have not. They do defend really well. What we've seen in the past is they've taken away the top scorer from the other team, really neutralized that player. But we, again, like I said earlier, they don't have a player like Pele that in the past.
The Welch being introduced. What are the keys to victory tonight for SJU?
Well, certainly the Hawks have to control the pace. With the team that scores at a high clip, you have to control the pace and certainly contain Pele. That's critical to this victory tonight.
Hawks coming off a victory against Boston University on the road. And for Utah, this is a really interesting game because you have to imagine it's in the back of their heads who is looming on the other side of this ball game for the Utes.
Absolutely. They've been in a lot of games this season where they've won by a large margin. So St. Joseph, on the other hand, has been some close games, somewhat overtime. So I think the advantage when it comes to a tight game sides to St. Joseph's.
The one thing for Utah is because the Utes have scored so many points, there have been a lot of blowouts so far. So what do the Utes have to do tonight?
They have to defend the SJU bigs. Brugler and Ziegler are the key to St. Joseph's because they can score inside and out. And Utah has to be ready to play a half-court game. We know St. Joseph's runs a lot of sets. They're very patient with their offense to look for the shot they want to get. So that'll be a challenge to the Utah team.
There's Lynn Roberts, the head coach for the Utes. Reigning Pac-12 Coach of the Year, coming over from Pacific. She has had a ton of success. Utah 7-1, the 11th ranked team in the country. And the Hawks enter tonight's game at 8-0. Laura Siegler set to tip it away against Jenna Johnson. And here we go from Philadelphia with the Hawks securing the opening tip. Mackenzie Smith inside for Brugler. Skip out for Siegler. Siegler pulls up, left it short. Rebound for Peely and the Utes. Vieta, one of the top facilitators in the country, finds Peely. Double team underneath, no problem for the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Year.
When you look at Pele, you don't think she looks like a very traditional basketball player, but light on her feet and handles the ball extremely well.
So 2-0, Utes on top. Siegler from the top of the key. Hit too strong. Peely with the rebound. Vieta off the run out. Vieta out for Young. Shot clock to 20. Inside for Johnson. Kick out to the corner. McQueen lets it go and knocks it down. 5-0 Utes in the first minute 10.
Not surprising to see that Utah is taking the quick shot that they get. Basically, the first shot they see and they're open, they're taking it.
St. Joe's 0 for 2 from the floor to start this game, and a foul called underneath the basket. It goes against Deja Young, and that's her first, team's first. Check that, they change it, and it's Alyssa Peely called for the personal foul. Here's Welch, up for Nystrom. Finds Siegler, again from the top. And a rebound for Johnson in Utah.
And not complaining about the looks St. Joseph's has gotten. Ziegler 2 open looks from the 3 and 1 inside.
Peely off the drop step, draws the foul, and heads to the free throw line for 2 shots.
You can already see the challenge that Pele presents to the Hawks. Very light on her feet and very quick from the spin out.
Here's a look at the foul underneath the basket called against Laura Siegler. That's her first. The lead 80% free throw shooter, misses the front end. Started her collegiate career at USC. Now making an impact here at Utah. Shot clock to 20 as Nystrom, pressured by Vieta. Up for Smith. Welch. And Hawks are 0 for 4 from the floor. And Vieta with the rebound. Run out for Young. Back for Vieta. For Johnson. Back for Peely. From the top. And a rebound for Chloe Welch and the Hawks. St. Joe's searching for his first bucket here in the first quarter. Brugler over for Smith. And Mackenzie Smith draws the foul. This time it is Deja Young called for her first, team second.
What's interesting, St. Joseph's is able to execute their offense. Get good looks. So far, they have not been able to put the ball in the basket. Once the ball starts to drop, I think you'll see some good things.
Hawks 0-4 from the floor to start this game. Laura Siegler 0 for 3, 0 2 from the three-point line. There's Nystrom. Welch around a screen, goes back to the lane. Rebound collected by Siegler. Off-balance shot into the hands of Peely. Peely's third board already, and a travel call against Jenna Johnson.
You have to like the way that Utah looks at the floor immediately. Tries to find that streaking player. Fortunately for the Hawks that time, a violation.
If this game gets to a track meet, how do the Hawks slow it down?
Put the ball in the basket really helps. You can really then control it because their leak outs by Utah is not going to happen.
3-minute scoreless drought to start this game for St. Joe's. Mackenzie Smith on a crossover drive puts the Hawks on the board.
What a sweet move by Smith. A really nice tight crossover and was able to finish it off.
Mackenzie Smith coming off 22 points. Draws the offensive foul.
Well, that's one thing you know about St. Joseph's. They're always prepared for the other team's set that time. Smith right in position to take that charge.
Madison Wilkie comes in as Deja Young picks up her second foul. So back-to-back turnovers for the Utes. 4-point lead for Utah. Mackenzie Smith around the screen, shot blocked. Healy comes away with it. Wilkie on the run out. Wilkie, runner off the glass and in.
And a nice soft touch by Wilkie to finish off that play, going to her left.
Utah's lead back to 6. Siegler over for Welch. Shot clock to 15. In for Brugler. And a travel is called, and the Hawks turn it over for the first time tonight.
Unfortunate for the Hawks, Brugler had a nice pin down low. Just needed to put the ball comfortably in her hands, and when she did catch it, she walked with the ball.
Alyssa Peely checks out for the first time tonight. Sam Crisp comes in. Here's McQueen for Johnson. Vieta squares for 3. And an offensive rebound for Crisp. Johnson from the top. And another offensive rebound for Sam Crisp.
Well, with a team like Utah that shoots that many threes, they're really in really good position to rebound.
Wilkie, a third attempt, and a rebound for Siegler. Two points in 5 minutes now for St. Joe's, but trailing by just 6 points.
This is amazing considering the slow start St. Joseph's has had.
Smith around the screen, squares for 3, and a rebound for Vieta. Johnson hands it for McQueen, back for Crisp. Crisp for Wilkie, around the baseline for Vieta, up for Johnson, and her 3 is good.
You have to like the way that Utah moves the ball. That ball is constantly popping to the next player, and that time an open look at the top for Johnson.
Utah opens up its largest lead in the game with 4.5 to play in the opening quarter. Siegler trying to get rid of it, finds Brugler with the shot clock to 15. Smith on a drive into a double team, and she throws it out of bounds. And Utah gets the basketball when we come back. It's the Utes with an 11-2 lead here in the opening quarter. And the Utes firing on all cylinders here in Philly.
Live sport.
Hawkins.
And they're ready to shoot the ball.
Vieta. Up for Wilkie. Back for McQueen for three. Got it.
That was just a well-orchestrated set.
Largest lead of the game for the Utes. Only bucket so far for St. Joe's is Mackenzie Smith. Working on Wilkie, diving in the middle, can't connect. Loose ball, and Johnson comes away with it for Utah. McQueen back for Vieta. Over for Crisp. Crisp throws it off the foot of Wilkie and out of bounds. And that's the third turnover for Utah here in the opening quarter.
It almost seems as though once St. Joseph's gets a shot, they're just happy to get the shot when they really need to be focused on just finishing off the shot that they're getting.
Hawks are just 1 for 9 from the floor so far. Talia Brugler's been quiet so far. She finds Siegler. Over for Boslett. Shot clock to 10 for Welch. Welch. Boslett. Shot clock to 5. In for Siegler. Squares up. And left that one a bit short in a rebound for Utah. McQueen. Skip pass for Wilkie. Over for Johnson. Shot clock to 20 on a handoff for Vieta. Vieta working towards the baseline. Back up top. Crisp left open. But a rebound for Johnson in the Utes. And another offensive rebound for Utah. But this time it's a held ball. And the Hawks get possession. 7 attempts already from long range for Utah. 3 makes. Kenny McQueen has 2 of them. Checked out the alternate possession. Utah maintains. Reese Ross into the game for the first time. Alyssa Peely's back in. Shot clock to 5. Ross missed. Vieta with the offensive glass. Out for Lonnie White. Kick to the corner for Vieta. Shot clock to 15. Vieta on a crossover. Hook in the lane. Rebound for Siegler.
You have to be impressed with this Utah team. Not only do they get good shots, they rebound really well.
Already plus 10 on the glass. Hawks with just 2 points in 8 minutes. Shot clock to 5. Brugler off a ball fake. Boslett with 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot, just lets it go, but not in time. It's a shot clock violation.
Well, you had to wonder how good this Utah team was, because when you look at their schedule, they played 7 contests, 2 of which have been close games. Other than that, they've had blowouts, but they're really good. They're really efficient offensively, and they're playing solid defense.
Healy kicks it up top. Ross triggers a 3. It's good. And a timeout called by St. Joe's as Utah has opened up a 15-point lead.
They're just so quick running through the ball. They suck in the defenders, and then they kick out for 3s, and they're really good at it.
And defensively, the Utes have held the Hawks to just 1 for 11 from the field.
And they are mostly rush shots. They're getting where they want to go, and then they're just not concentrating on the finish, and that's something they need to do against a team like Utah.
There's that last 3 for the Utes. Well, you just see the vision by Peely.
It's amazing. They drive, they draw defenders, and their head is up looking for that opening because they know somebody's open when they're double teamed.
And we talked about the fact that Utah is missing 2 of its top scorers in Izzy Palmer and Gianna Neepkins. But then they bring a freshman in Reese Ross off the bench. She's averaging 10 points per game.
She's pretty good. There's another turnover by the Hawks.
Here's White in transition. Boslett, good defense and a rebound for Siegler.
It's hard as a freshman to come in and play with a veteran team like this, but Ross has done extremely well.
Vieta picks up the foul. That's the 3rd foul against against Utah.
Indiana so many members on defense. It's hard to get your offense started. Utah knows it. St. Joseph's likes to run sets. They like to run patiently. Indiana doesn't allow that to happen.
Indiana checks out. Kennedy McQueen comes back. What do the Hawks have to do in this last minute?
Make a bucket. That would help a lot. They just are struggling with the ball in the basket.
Here's Brugler on a drive, draws the contact. She'll head to the free throw line. Try and end this drought for the Hawks. Reese Ross called for the foul. As Talia Brugler gets set to head to the line. Hawks haven't scored since the 6:45 mark. That's when Mackenzie Smith knocked down that layup. Drought ends on the free throw by Brugler. Brugler makes both. Two-time all-conference player. Knocking on the door of 1,000 points already in her Hawks career. Here's Ross on a drive, and she answers for the Utes.
Can't say enough how impressive this team is. Their ball movement, their ability to see the openings is the best I've seen in a long time.
19-4, Utah on top. Ziegler back in for Brugler. Make it 4 in a row for Talia Brugler.
The best look the Hawks have had all night. It was a good execution by Ziegler. It's a Brugler down low.
Shot clock turns off. Utah set to hold for the final shot here in the first quarter. Wilkie covered by Boslett. Up for McQueen. Peely sets a screen. Back for Peely. Left wide open for three. Got it! And Alyssa Peely in the final seconds of the first quarter. Casey lets it go. It's no good. And that is the end of the first quarter here in Philadelphia. The number 11 Utah Utes with a 22-6 advantage. Second quarter coming up right after this. Start of the second quarter here in Philadelphia. Utah with a 22-6 lead. St. Joe's enters tonight's game 8-0, looking for its first win against a ranked opponent since 2013, when the Hawks beat number 11 Dayton in the Atlantic 10 tournament. But Brady, so far, first 10 minutes, we see why Utah is a top 15 team.
Wow, so I can say the way in which they move offensively is on constant go, and it's a zig and a zag at all times. It's totally in rhythm.
Brugler with the last 4 points for the Hawks. Hands it off for Welch. Welch around the screen. Shot clock to 15. Ziegler left open. Corner three. Yes!
Well, that was needed. Ziegler hitting a three will hopefully open up the rest of the scoring for the Hawks.
And an offensive foul called against the Utes. Ziegler had been 0 of 5 before that last shot. We've now seen the Hawks score on 3 consecutive possessions. What's been different?
Well, they settled into the game. Ziegler, who was rushing shots, all of a sudden is concentrating, putting the ball in the basket. And then the looks down low that they had with Brugler were good looks, not rushed, just what they're supposed to be doing.
Gabby Casey has her shot blocked, collects. Ziegler, Nystrom, three. That one rolls around and out. And a rebound for White and Utah.
What happens sometimes in these games is players are just happy that they're open and they rush the shots, and they just have to just settle into the game.
McQueen got it, plus the foul.
You have to start thinking, like, who are you most impressed by? Which player?
Gabby Casey called for the personal foul. Kennedy McQueen to the free throw line for the bonus shot. Madison Wilkie checks out. Ines Vieda's back in. Bonus free throw is up and good for McQueen. Utah on top, 25-9. White knocks it out of bounds. There's Nystrom. Over for Casey. Brugler directing traffic, sets the screen. Shot clock to 13. And Brugler goes right into the chest of Jenna Johnson, who draws the offensive foul.
But Brugler had the right idea, trying to go 1-on-1 down low. Went a little too ahead of herself, but elbow outreach. Official right on the call.
Gabby Casey checks out. Mackenzie Smith comes back. Here's Peely. Hand off for White. White goes backdoor for a wide open Kennedy McQueen.
I mean, it's just one set after the other that Utah executes on.
Welch finds Smith. Smith trying to create some space, nowhere to go. Back for Siegler. Shot clock to 15. Brugler faces up. Shot clock to 10. Trying to go up and under. We've seen it so many times in her career. That time left it a bit short. There's McQueen off a ball fake. Lobs it inside for Peely. Hawks double. And a rebound on the weak side for Mackenzie Smith.
That may have been the worst shot that Utah's taken in this game, and it was actually a layup. Just missed my payday.
Mackenzie Smith trying to get going offensively. She had the first bucket for the Hawks. Crossover, now a spin, falls to a knee, and she's called for a walk. That's the 6th turnover for the Hawks so far.
The Hawks now trying to play 1-on-1, trying to draw a double team, hit a shooter. Mackenzie Smith get her feet tangled up. But the right idea by the Hawks is try to play a 2-man game. Now they're trying to play a 1-man game. But this Utah team is just too good.
Vieta around the screen, stops in the lane, finds Peely. Hawks double, Peely goes up and under, and a contested layup, not a problem.
I mean, this team is shooting at a clip of 52%.
It's a 7-0 run for Utah, whose lead is up to 20. Brugler falls to the deck, Peely comes away with it. Vieta in transition. And Johnson's called for steps. It's 5 turnovers now for the Utes. Hawks scored early in this quarter on the 3 by Siegler, but empty since that point. Scoreless in the last 3 minutes. Here's Boslett. Over for Smith. Shot clock to 15. Smith pulls up. And a rebound for Jenna Johnson. And the Utes just continue to dominate this game on the glass.
They certainly do. They just have really good timing. When the ball's coming off the rim, they get in great position to rebound it.
Johnson for 3, too strong. That's a physical rebound by Mackenzie Smith.
And she just went up and got that ball as it coming off the rim.
Utes are plus 10 on the glass. Nystrom working baseline. Vieta knocks it out of bounds. Hawks keep possession.
Best word you can use to describe Utah's defense is relentless. They are pressuring every pass. They're pressuring the ball handler. Not allowing any easy looks.
Paula Marina comes in for the first time. Off the inbounds play, the Hawks pick up a bucket as Emma Boslett makes this a 29-11 game. And Chris can't handle the pass. And the Hawks get a turnover. Daisha Young returns with 2 personal fouls for the Utes. All right, 5:40 left here in the first half. What do the Hawks have to do?
First thing you want to do, I can't continue to say the same thing, just put the ball in the basket. You take care of the basketball, get good looks, and make sure you finish it.
Smith squares up. Bit too strong. And a rebound for Sam Crisp. Here's Vieta. Just goes coast to coast.
She is relentless. She is always on go. at both ends of the floor just realized there was an open lane and just went right to it.
Utah's leading back to 20. Boslett waits for a screen, goes the way of Brugler. Little hesitation, finds Brugler on the slip and the finish.
Boslett has that little bit of an all-time hesitation. She just stops and just runs to the ball, and that's having a great feed inside the Brugler.
Vieta again on the drive, off balance, can't roll it home. Nystrom with the rebound, and the Hawks are off and running. Outlet for Talia Brugler, can't finish. And Deja Young with the rebound, and now it's the Utes' turn in transition. Kennedy McQueen off a ball fake, 3 on its way. And it's out of bounds, possession to the Hawks when we come back. 4:30 to play here in the first half at Hagan Arena. It's Utah with a 31-13 lead over St. Joseph's. Back to Philly right after this. Why the Utes are ranked #1 in so many offensive categories.
The way they move the ball, first of all, they get down the floor offensively. It's always on go. And then once they're down in the half-court set, it's just one movement after the other. It's just playing basketball. One zigs, the other zags. That's constantly what they're doing offensively. And the Hawks are caught off guard several times with the backdoor looks. Then you draw 2 defenders. Utah does as they drive very quickly, and you have an open 3.
Boslett running point for the Hawks. Shot clock to 20. Smith into the lane, creates a little bit of space, but a rebound for Kennedy McQueen and the Utes. Here's Ross off a ball fake. Kick out for Young. Crisp. Hand off for Vieta. Working baseline. And Brugler steals away the pass to the top. They give it right back to Utah as Deja Young picks it off. Hawks going to block underneath, and nearly another turnover. Vieta dribbled it off her foot into the backcourt, and that's exactly what they call. Gabby Casey comes back in for St. Joe's. We talked about the success that Lynn Roberts has had in her 9 seasons at Utah. Team that went to the Sweet 16 a year ago, lost to national champs LSU. It was a tight game, too. Think about how things could have been so different if Utah wins that game.
And you can see how Utah could say the game with LSU, the ball movement and the movement. It's a hard thing to defend.
Emma Boslett picks up her second bucket. Ross off a ball fake. In for Crisp, and an offensive foul. Well, no Katie J. count anymore for the Hawks to take offensive fouls, but it seems like she's left her mark on this program.
It's very contagious. Once you have one, you want to certainly follow suit. You see right here. Great positioning right there by Brugler, recognizing there's a player coming toward her out of control.
So 3:10 left to play here in the first half. Hawks trying to cut in to this 16-point Utah lead. Utes are scoreless over the last 2 minutes. Melissa Peely's back in the game. Here's Welch. Finds Brugler, goes off her hands, right into the hands of Vieta. Peely on a skip. Shot clock to 15. Peely covered by Marina. Bucket plus the foul. How about that?
How about that? She looked as though she was going underneath the basket. A little hesitation move, came right back in, drew contact, and finished the play.
Paula Marina called for the foul. Well, we've seen Utah do it so often tonight. It seems like first look for the Utes when they get into that position is to kick. But that time, for Peely, it was just right up.
It really was. And she sold the move. She got toward the basket, looked like she was going to kick, and went right up, and that caught Marina off guard, and she's drawn for the contact foul.
Peely's in double figures with 11. She also has 5 rebounds and a couple of assists. Ziegler for Welch. For Boslett. Boslett has it taken away. Young. Inside for Peely. Into a double team and a foul is called.
Late whistle by the official, but clearly was contact once Bailey got the ball down there.
Is that the only way to defender?
There's
collapse?
3 defenders on her, but what you're giving up is an open 3. But Peely is so strong. She can carry through defenders with her and get the shots.
Melissa Peely has 4 consecutive games with 20 or more points, and she's well on her way to another one. She has 11 with 2:05 left here in the first half. Peely misses both, but an offensive rebound for Jenna Johnson. Peely drives, kicks it out. McQueen for 3. It's long. And another rebound for Wilkie and the putback.
You have to start to wonder, what is it that Utah does to get so many rebounds? Or is it like what St. Joseph's is doing?
That's already 7 offensive boards for the Utes, who have their largest lead of the game. Ziegler tries to cut into it. She can't. Brugler does, though, plus the foul.
So Brugler's been struggling most of this half. Conway's able to put the ball into the basket with contact on her.
See the miss by Ziegler, but the board and the putback by Talia Brugler. Nashvieta heads out. Lonnie White comes back for the Utes. Talia Brugler, who was quiet in the first quarter, has 8 points already here in the second, make that 9.
And Hawks get every one of them.
90 seconds remaining, first half. A little bit of a weave up top for Kennedy McQueen. Wilkie finds Peely on a drive. Layup no good. And a rebound for the Hawks. Chloe Welch leading the way. Out for Nystrom. Welch trailing. 1:05 left. Welch into the ring. Count it!
Activity now from the Hawks offense. It's all on transition defense, transition offense, just getting down the floor and just attacking. And that's the second bucket where the Hawks were able to make it in contact, with contact, I should say.
Welch's bonus free throw, it's good. And the Utah lead is to 15 with 1 minute to play. Wilkie, quick trigger. Can't answer. Welch with the board. What's Chloe Welch brought to the squad since she's gotten there?
Her energy on offense is very strong. She's a player that just runs through the ball and gets to the rim.
Ziegler for 3. Yes! 33 seconds left in the half. Wilkie, Johnson, McQueen. Here's Wilkie. Shot clock to 10. Inside, Johnson finishes around the contact. 10 seconds left, clock running. Clock down to 5. Welch. Ziegler calling for it. Welch herself beats the clock. Yes! And that is how we close out the first half. And a little bit of life for St. Joe's in the final 3 minutes. 38-26, the halftime score. Well, we've seen the high-powered offense from Melissa Peely and this Utah squad, but late here in the second quarter, the Hawks have come to life. Laura Ziegler with a 3, and then another one late. It's a 12-point ball game here at halftime.
Chili's, baby back around. Chili's, baby back around. Chili's, baby back around. Chili's, baby back around. I want my baby back ribs.
Well, I know what you guys are having. Baby back ribs.
I want the steak fajitas. I want my baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce.
History's greatest hero
The professor?
Indeed. Indiana Jones.
is now streaming on Disney Plus. Experience the movie event the whole family will love.
I know Ken's here.
Entertainment Weekly raves it's thrilling and a rip-roaring adventure.
I've been looking for this all my life.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, rated PG-13. Now streaming on Disney Plus.
Knowing that you could represent the university at alumni events, at reunions, at weddings.
You have a responsibility to your school, to your alumni, and the people that are supporting you.
I had no idea what journey I'd be in for. I love all the people I met here, all the teachers, everybody. It's really, really the best place, and it's getting bigger and better, which is fantastic for all future Hawks.
I was pretty involved when I was in college, and to me, being the Hawk mascot was the pinnacle of my involvement. It represented everything I wanted.
It has created lifelong connections, and it's helped me tremendously in life.
It was brought to my attention from former Hawks when I became the Hawk that I was now part of what we call the Featherhood. The students that have worn that costume, you're part of such a unique tradition.
I don't know of any other college that can actually say that they have a community that's so behind the mascot.
You know, I've had a lot of success in life, but my Obid's going to say I was the next one.
I've already told my niece she is to play The Hawk Will Never Die. It changes with the times, but for me, it's always that Hawk Will Never Die spirit.
I think it goes back to the Hawk Will Never Die.
I live that motto. The Hawk will never die.
Entertainment Weekly raves it's thrilling and a rip-roaring adventure.
I've been looking for this all my life.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, rated PG-13. Now streaming on Disney Plus.
Sometimes I need to paraphrase.
It's easy to make your work clearer and more concise. There's still your ideas, just shorter.
We'll definitely stay under the time limit this time. Better. Now, the biggest part of this assignment is making the pitch compelling for the judges.
You can use Grammarly to make your sentences more engaging, confident, and persuasive.
This is perfect.
94% of students say Grammarly helps improve their grades. Download Grammarly for free. Chili's.
The way I think of it, you know, the pulse of the school beats beneath the feathers of the Hawk.
What makes the Hawk so different is its extra passion that it gets to bring to the game. People watch the Hawk during the games, not just the players on the court.
The Hawk connects alumni, passionate fans, casual fans. It's just something that just kind of links all of us together.
I think it's honestly the greatest tradition in all of college basketball and maybe all of sports. It's cool that you can turn on the TV on the road game and you look at one of the corners and the Hawk's there.
The announcers and color commentators will always take time to mention that the Hawk is there at the game, wherever it is in the country.
I think it gives St. Joe's national recognition.
To say that it was the first, man in a costume for college basketball, it's a great part of the mystique for St. Joe's as well.
Considering other mascots are kind of more on the cheer or the spirit side, like we're very much part of the team, being part of the huddles, being a part of the practices, that is all part of the experience.
Other mascots will go into their locker room during random points in the game, but the Hawk is always out there. I always really enjoyed just being the only mascot in the country that goes to every single away game. But another thing that a lot of people don't realize is you're also the manager for the team. So you really are part of the team, from working the practices, being in the locker room.
Putting on that costume and leading the team out on the floor was one of the traditions that was always perfect. The band went, you led the team out, end of the game, you closed it up.
Those traditions are just core. The hand on a player at timeouts, the figure eights, that just happens. It doesn't matter which side, women's or men's.
I remember the first time I did my figure eight, my headband slid over my eye, so I was doing it blind. I was just running blind.
My biggest fear when I did it was I thought the pants were going to fall off. So I always made sure that they were tight. You know, because you run out, you do the figure eight, you have no idea what's going to happen.
The feathers, you're always going to find the feathers on the court.
An 8-year-old kid reaching down and picking up a feather after you run your figure eight.
There's a grittiness about the Hawk in that you are going to flap the whole game, you're going to be persistent, you're never going to give up,
and you're going to do it every single game without deviation. Joe Boyle's not in that costume. You're the Hawk.
Regardless of who is wearing the costume represents life.
Back here in Philadelphia, we're getting set for the start of the second half between the Hawks and the Utes. Utah with a 38-26 lead. And the Utes shooting 48% from the field. Start this game. St. Joe's just 35%. And Rini, that 35% is up for the Hawks in that second quarter. But so far, Utah's offensive performance has been really impressive. Kennedy McQueen's been great from long range, and we've seen why Alyssa Peely is one of the best players in the country.
Peely is so good and so unassuming. Plays the game, just plays the game, and right on her feet, makes the right plays, and very unselfish. But this team's very unselfish.
Well, the Hawks closed out that first half on an 11-2 run, and all of a sudden made this a ball game with this last bucket by Chloe Welsh to close out the half.
I like the confidence that Welsh had to take that shot. Ziegler was calling for the ball because she was over the top of the three. But Welsh knew what she wanted all along. She wanted to get in the lane, and she has a great touch on the floater, and she did it. She finished it off for the Hawks.
Utah starts out with the basketball. Alyssa Peely and Kennedy McQueen each with 11 points. Vieta finds Johnson. Peely back for Vieta. Shot clock to 20. Johnson working around Brugler, and a rebound for Laura Siegler. Did you see anything different defensively for the Hawks in those final minutes of the first half?
Not necessarily. I just believe what happened was they made 2 shots, and the confidence started to rise a little bit, so you had a little bit more quicker movement from the Hawks defensively.
Shot clock is down to 10. Here's Chloe Welch. Nearly collected her own miss, but it goes into the hands of Deja Young. So both teams empty on the opening possession. Johnson looking backdoor. What a cut by Young and a finish.
I love how they execute that backdoor look. They drive right to the defender, and then off the back, they hit the backdoor for a layup.
It's very Princeton-esque.
Absolutely. It's all read. It's not a play just to read.
Here's Welch. In the lane once again. Left that runner a bit short. It's not a bad look, though.
Absolutely not. I like the 2 looks we had from Welsh. Just short on the shots.
Here's Peely. Vieta for 3. And a rebound for Chloe Welch. Hawks go inside for Brugler. And that's the first bucket of the second half for Talia Brugler and the Hawks. She's in double figures. She leads the way for the Hawks with 11.
If there's one adjustment I would have made at halftime, it was just that. Bring Brugler away from the basket. She was really struggling down low. Get her outside and let her use her shooting touch.
2 minutes gone by. Each team with 2 points here in the quarter. Peely just creates some separation and finishes.
She certainly did. She just sealed on the top side, and then she sealed on the bottom side and got great position and finished it off for the Utes.
Peely with 13. That's a game high. Here's Welsh. Siegler tries a 3. Bit too strong. Smith tried to fight for position, but it's Deja Young who comes away with it.
very interesting. The Utes are giving Ziegler that open look from 3. Unfortunately, this has not been Ziegler's shooting night, and their shots are off.
Healy for Johnson. Leaves for Young. Johnson, deep 3. Last touched by Alyssa Peely. Hawks with the basketball. St. Joe's shooting just 2 of 7 from three-point range. Ziegler has both of those makes, but they were late in the second quarter.
They certainly were, and she has not been shooting well this game. The hope is that her touch comes back.
Here's Brugler, hook shot. Rebound for Johnson. Ziegler so far tonight, 2 of 9. We mentioned both of those makes from three-point range. Johnson trailing, puts it to the deck. And off for Young. Healy. Here's McQueen. Step back 3. Weak side rebound for Julia Nystrom. Run out for Chloe Welsh. And Chloe Welsh has 7.
I'm excited to see what Welsh is going to do for the rest of this game. All of a sudden, she's playing at a different speed, and it's opening up the floor for the Hawks.
How much of that is her experience in now 6 years of college basketball?
A lot. And basically, a fifth-year player, just go out and play. You don't start thinking, you just play, and that's what she's starting to do.
Hawks get another turnover. And all of a sudden, the Hawks have an opportunity to get this to 10 and potentially to single digits. And we wondered how the Hawks were going to have success in the half court, this time getting it done in transition.
That's what they have to do to win this game. The half court is not working for them. You have to go to the full court and get some leaks out in transition.
Brugler faces up. And an offensive foul is called, wave off the bucket.
Not quite sure about that call. Of course, I'm not the official, so it doesn't matter what I think, but it looked like Brugler went really hard to the basket.
Let's take a look. See a little bit of a push-off,
yeah,
maybe.
it was a push-off.
Healy on the other side answers.
Healy is just so good at positioning herself and then great separation when she gets the ball.
Utah's lead back to 14. And that snaps a 2-10 scoreless drought for the Utes. Here's Welsh. Kenzie Smith, been quiet so far tonight. Tries a 3, got it! Healy can't hit. Inside 5 minutes here in the third. Can the Hawks get it inside 10? Nystrom. In for Brugler. Up and under to the left side. Count it, plus the foul! And Talia Brugler heads to the free throw line with 4:32 to play. Timeout on the floor. Brugler to the line when we come back. It's a 9-point lead for Utah as the Hawks have gotten this game to single digits. Back to Hagan right after this.
Dream be catching.
You're stronger than you know.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
The NHL on ESPN continues with a superstar showdown. Connor Bedard.
How did he do that?
Meets Connor McDavid.
McDavid! What a goal!
Blackhawks Oilers at 10, Tuesday on ESPN.
It's the first time all 30 are all in to conquer a brand new bracket in the new NBA Cup. Who's going to be first to take it? It's in-season tournament time. It's NBA on ESPN time.
4:32 left, third quarter. Utah with a 44-35 lead. Alyssa Peely, a game-high 15 points as we see our Spotlight update sponsored by Jersey Mike's. It's been a quiet night offensively for Laura Siegler, but she does have 5 boards, and the Hawks find themselves inside a 10-point game.
Which is amazing considering how poorly the Hawks did for most of that first half. But they ended the half on a high note, converted some baskets, and then to start this quarter, they've defended really well.
Out of the timeout, Talia Brugler knocks down the bonus free throw. And with 4.5 minutes left here in the third, it is an 8-point ball game. Here's Vieta. Up for McQueen. Young. Jabs. Johnson. Vieta for 3. Nothing there. Rebound for the Hawks. Here's Nystrom. Hawks slow it down. It's worth noting Alyssa Peely not on the floor right now for Utah. Shot clock to 15. Nystrom on a drive, called for steps. Madison Wilkie comes back in for the Utes.
Not a good decision by Nystrom. That lane was completely filled with the Utes to try to create something that was not there.
That's the 11th turnover for St. Joe's. Johnson leaves it inside for Chris. Couldn't hit the layup, collects her own miss. Finds Wilkie, loose ball, kick out for Vieta. Johnson hands off for McQueen. Shot clock to 10. Chris, shot clock at 5. Wilkie, push off and an offensive foul.
The number of times that charge has been called this season has been much greater than in previous years. The officials have been consistent. You mean with that arm bar, they're going to call that offensive foul. And you see right here that Wilkie that with the arm bar.
Was that a point of emphasis this season?
It's always been a point of emphasis. It just seems that though more players are trying to create space for themselves and leading with that bar.
Welsh, Siegler, a deep 3. A bit too strong, and a foul is called on the rebound. And the Hawks will keep possession. And right on cue, Alyssa Peely comes back in because the Hawks are on a 6-0 run right now.
They certainly are, and they're getting good position and rebounding the ball, which they did not do in that first half.
Reese Ross returns as well for the Utes. Boslit's into the game for the Hawks. Brugler. Another one for Talia Brugler. She has 16. Here's Vieta. And a foul is called. Wave off the bucket. It's on the floor.
You see Boslet clearly connected with Vieta as she was going toward the basket.
Here's the last bucket by Talia Brugler.
It feels as though the Hawks have finally settled into the game.
Peely, physical finish.
Good as that Vieta to see that pass. So impressive.
So that ends the run. As Peely right back into the game immediately makes an impact to push Utah's lead back to 8. 2:20 left. Smith, a little bit of space, too strong. Siegler tries for it, but it's Peely there, too strong. Utah trying to push its lead back to 10. Vieta gets it done.
That's quite a spin off the glass Vieta does. Drives hard, it's going away from the basket, and a little back spin puts it right off the glass into the basket.
2 minutes left here in the third. 10-point lead for the Utes. Smith. Welsh. Over for Boslet. Back for Brugler. In for Siegler. And the bucket.
That was an extremely good execution by the Hawks and patience to let the play develop.
Vieta trailing Ross for 3. Halfway home and out. And a rebound for Laura Siegler. Utah's led by as many as 21. That was with a minute and a half left in the second quarter. Hawks then went on an 11-2 run. That's a missed opportunity for St. Joe's on a long rebound.
Missed opportunity there, and the shot went up, and no one went after the ball, and Utes let it go out of bounds because no Hawk defender was there to go get a rebound. There should be no Hawk offensive player there to get a rebound.
1 minute left here in the third. Ross for Vieta. Over for Wilkie. Knocks down the three.
Well, the screens that were set to get Wilkie open were pretty strong. And no Hawk hedge. So a wide open shot for Wilkie, and she nails the three.
Utah led by 12 at the half. And its lead is back to 11, and a foul is called against Peely.
And you can see she clearly held Brugler with a great spin out to free herself. And Peely, not knowing what to do, just grabbed her.
Talia Brugler heads out. Looks like she was shaken up on the play. Paula Marina comes back. Boslett to inbound. Hawks wanted a foul, didn't get it. And on the other side, Utah wanted a flop. Shot clock to 10. Boslett. Shot clock at 3. Shot clock to 2. Lost the basketball, and it's a violation with 15 and a half seconds left in the quarter.
That was not execution by the Hawks. That was too much dribbling, not enough movement with the ball or with the bodies. Easy defense for Utah, that possession.
Utes can hold for one final shot, leading by 11. Right in for Peely, and a foul is called.
And that was a good call by the officials. Marina really pushed Peely off that block. Honestly, St. George will take that, not into the bonus yet in this quarter. And Peely from that spot has been deadly.
6.5 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Vieta to inbound. Gets it for Peely. Off a ball fake. Into the lane. Spins into the contact. Can't hit. Loose ball to the corner. And that is the end of the third quarter. Utah with a 51-40 lead after 30 minutes, 10 to play here in Philadelphia. Don't go anywhere.
In the world of athletes, where every move counts, setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery, we're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Philly. Utah with an 11-point lead over the Hawks. Upcoming schedule for St. Joe's. Right around the corner, Saturday night. Villanova comes to Hagen. Hawks Classic kicks off on December 20th. And then all of a sudden, just like that, the A-10 schedule picks up right around New Year's. The Utes are here on the East Coast because right after this, it doesn't get much easier because Dawn Staley and the #1 team in the country are next on your schedule.
And I'm going to love to see that game. I'm not sure South Carolina saw a team move this quickly offensively.
Start of the fourth quarter, Siegler can't hit the jump shot, and a foul is called underneath the basket against Mackenzie Smith.
Because you just don't want to get you're 90 feet from the basket, just get back, they secure the ball. What you don't want to do is get into a free throw situation for Utah. It's hard enough when you're spending a lot of time defending, now you're getting easy shots.
Well, that's one thing you don't see from this Hawks team. They rarely commit fouls like that.
They're very good positionally.
And Alyssa Peely starts the scoring for the Utes.
I was really impressed with how well she moves and how efficient she is in her movements.
Utah's lead is back to 13. Hawks got it as low as 8. Loose ball after the miss by Marina.
And notice shots that we were missing in the first quarter. We don't want to get back into that rhythm. St. Joe's has to stay focused on finishing out play.
Wilkie working on Casey. And a rebound for Siegler. Talia Brugler, who was banged up at the end of the third quarter, is at the scorer's table waiting to come back in. She has a team-high 16 for the Hawks. Smith off the handoff, tries a 3. Yes!
Smith has a play that's been shooting so well from the outside. And that time came off a handoff with a nice stroke, finishes up the 3.
Back to a 10-point game. In for Peely. Count it! And Alyssa Peely has 21 and heading back to the free throw line.
And how good is she? Just her movement down low, how quickly she's able to spin out once she gets the ball. It's hard to play her to defend.
There's that bucket. That's just, it's unguardable.
It really is. It's such a quick wrap. She's a really good ball face.
She cans the bonus free throw. Game high 22. It's her 5th consecutive game with 20 or more. And she's done it on 9 of 14 from the floor. Utah's lead back to 13. Smith, that's a deep 2. It's contested out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hawks.
I'm not sure Smith didn't get hit on that by Peely, but the official was right on top. The call did not make it.
7:54 left to play. Hawks trying to upset Utah and start 9-0 for the 2nd consecutive season. Just 6 seconds to shoot after the block. Nystrom to inbound. Up for Mackenzie Smith. Shot clock down to 3. Smith around the screen, lets it go. And it's a bit short. Peely comes away with the rebound. That's her 7th board.
I like the look. Smith just shoot on the shot, and there's Peely. Oh my goodness gracious.
25 for Alyssa Peely. And Utah's lead is 16. And Sydney Griffin wants a timeout. 7:29 to play. As Utah's opened up a 59-43 lead. Final 7.5 from Hagen after this.
What I feel in my heart during the Subaru Share the Love event, it's just so rewarding.
We believe in love, not just our customers, but also our community.
And the Subaru Share the Love event is truly an example of that.
Over $285 million donated is phenomenal.
It absolutely sets us apart from all other car companies.
Right now, get a new Subaru, and Subaru and our retailers will donate $300 to charity. Get 2.9% APR financing on a new 2024 Outback during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event.
Sometimes I need to paraphrase.
It's easy to make your work clearer and more concise.
At noon, that game being played at Mohegan Sun. Randy, what do you think? Potential Final Four preview?
I'm not quite sure Utah's at that level. They're at a high level, maybe top 15. I think the test is really going to be on Sunday. How do they fare against a team like South Carolina?
One thing that's interesting, too, we looked at that schedule. Utah is playing a number of games on the road, not just to close out their non-conference schedule, but when they start Pac-12 play as well. And it is a loaded Pac-12 this season.
It certainly is. I mean, it does not get any easier once they get to conference play. Playing top 10 teams pretty much every week.
6 teams in the top 25 for the Pac-12. And it's an emotional season for a lot of Pac-12 teams.
Absolutely, it is. You know, the conference alignments are really always in flux. There's never any settlement with the coaches, meaning that they're not quite sure to be playing next year. There's so much movement, both with players and with teams.
Hawks trailing by 16. Trying to get it inside for Talia Brugler, but Peely with tremendous defense.
She does. She just knows when to get up and fit deflection. She eyed it the whole time. She just really focused on the eyes of Ziegler.
Here's Wilkie. For Johnson, for Vieta, back for Johnson, blocked by Ziegler. And the Hawks will take over with 6:26 left to play.
For as good as Peely is, what a team player she is. She sets some really good screens for her teammates. If she's not open, she's looking to get her teammate open. It's just that basketball instinct, knowing where to be and when, and she does it so well.
Hawks are scoreless over the last 2 minutes. Utah's on a 6-0 run during that time. Brugler trying to end the drought, working the baseline, goes back the other way, and a rebound for Jenna Johnson and the Utes. And here's Vieta in transition. Weak side, Peely, count it. Alyssa Peely has taken over this ball game. Give Vieta credit too, just tremendous vision.
She really does. And timing. She got deep into the lane before she made that pass, but she had Ziegler just step toward her, and as soon as she did, that was a bounce pass to Peely, who just, again, puts it in and does it through contact.
Yeah, Nesh Vieta, who's one of the top facilitators in the country. Hawks go inside for Smith. It's blocked away. But I loved what Vieta said after the win against BYU. She said, yeah, I can find my teammates, but they get it done. Because those assists don't mean anything if they don't knock down buckets like Peely just did.
As the game has worn on, Peely just continues to get better. It's amazing.
Ziegler collects her own miss, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And what was once a 6-point deficit in the third quarter is now widened to 22 points.
That's the largest lead of the game for the Utes. Just look at the patience.
Oh my goodness. They just keep your defense constantly moving and shuffling. And eventually their defense is going to wear down and Utah will find an opening.
So they originally called that a shooting foul. They changed it to on the floor. Welch pulls up, knocks it down.
Well, for the Hawks now, you want to get it within 15 or 10. You want to end this game respectfully. You have a big game against Villanova on Saturday.
20-point lead for Utah. Hawks double, and it's a kick ball. Vieta with 8 assists tonight. She's 5th in the country in assists per game, averaging just under 8. McQueen back for White, shot clock to 4, and an offensive foul.
What's amazing is Welch did a really good job of just stopping and then going, and when she went, you could see Young just pushed out the arm guard again and was called for that offensive.
20-point ball game, Utes on top. Final 4:46 from Hagen after this.
where every move counts. Setbacks can feel like a mountain to climb. At Rothman Orthopedics, our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love, because we specialize in you. We're not just about recovery. We're about rewriting your story. With specialized physicians and unwavering support, we help you rise above adversity. Rothman Orthopedics, the official orthopedic provider of athletes.
4:46 left to play. Fourth quarter, Utah with a 20-point lead. Reading the difference in this game right now. The first quarter, Utah was plus 16. The Utes are plus 9 here in the fourth. But the Hawks hung around in the second and the third quarter, finishing those plus 5.
It certainly did. It just seems what's happening now is Peely. As the game wore on, she just continued to get better. Her teammates didn't perform as well offensively, but they always had Peely to go back to, and she responded. That, to me, is the difference between the second and third quarter and now the fourth quarter when she just took over.
Alyssa Peely, who averages just over 22 points per game, with 31 tonight on 12 of 17 shooting. Here's Welsh. It's part of that big run for the Hawks to close out the first half. Boslett creates a little bit of space, left the jump shot short, and a rebound for White and the Utes. Here's Kennedy McQueen on a drive, had a big first half, been quiet here in the second. Johnson creates a little bit of space, and an offensive foul. To recount the basket. Natalia Brugler is called for the foul, so it's a 22-point lead for Utah. So rather than an offensive foul, it's a bucket and a foul for the Utes. Jenna Johnson from the line for a bonus free throw. It's no good, but a rebound for Sam Crisp and the putback.
Well, these second chance opportunities that the Utes have continued to get is going to haunt the Hawks, and that's something they'll need to work on and correct before they play Villanova on Saturday night. Villanova has a very good rebound on Dulcie, who had a very good game against them last night. So if there's one thing we went away with is number one, rebound the ball, get good position, and number two, when you rebound the ball, you get out in transition, your offense becomes that much more open and harder to defend.
The Utes plus 14 in the paint tonight, and a major difference too, points off turnovers, as Welsh's three is no good. But the Hawks have committed 15 turnovers in this game. Utah has 20 points off those 15 turnovers.
That's just the speed that they play with. They got a Viata who just gets the ball and motors down the floor, and that creates opportunities for our teammates.
Crisp has it stripped away by Welsh. The opposite way, coast to coast, can't finish. Marina with the rebound, had it stripped free, and a foul is called against the Hawks.
It's certainly a frustration foul. Welsh had the opening toward the basket and then was thrown off right near the end, deflected the shot, and just out of frustration gets that foul. And now it's the fifth foul on St. Joseph's. So Utah will go into the 2-shot bonus. You see that right there, the contact.
2 free throws coming for Jenna Johnson. So at 3:10 remaining, Utah has opened up a 25-point lead. Now remember, this was a 6-point game with 2.5 minutes left to play in the third. Welsh can't finish. Crisp with the rebound. Here's Wilkie. Hands the ball for White. Back for Crisp. It's dribbled out of bounds, but it's touched last by Talia Brugler. And we've been so impressed with this Utah offense. I mean, can you imagine if they had Gianna Niklas?
I can't even imagine. And Palmer, two starters sidelined for the Utes, and yet Utah continues to put points up. Now, you have to, for the Hawks, to be happy you kept Utah within their average. They scored 99 points a game. Only at 70 points right now, which is a victory in and of itself. However, the Hawks only have 45 points, well below their average for this season.
Madison Wilkie heads to the line. Elise Snead is in for the first time for St. Joe's. You have to imagine with South Carolina looming, we've probably seen the last of Alyssa Pilley. Excuse me. She was impressive. That's an understatement.
I couldn't imagine what type of player she was. And when you see how short she is, assuming a much taller player, not tall at all, but what she is, she's quick with her feet, and she just has a high basketball IQ.
Smith on the cut and the reverse layup.
Finally, the Hawks are able to get a soft touch shot to go through.
It's nearly a 3-minute scoreless drought snapped by the Hawks. I was amazed by Alyssa Pilley's composure.
Absolutely.
It was, whether it was a 6-point game or ultimately a 25-point game, her demeanor never changed.
Never changed. And I mentioned it earlier, impressed by how well she gets her teammates over. When she's not getting the ball, it's not frustration. It's, okay, let me go find one of my teammates that I can free up for an open shot or open look.
Walsh is too strong on the 3. Wilkie with the rebound. Minute 45 left to play here in the 4th. Vieta right into Snead. A foul is called.
Well, that's one thing you do not want to see at this point in the game. They see a player like Vieta go down. She's played so well, and this is a part of what Utah is because of the pressure she puts on the other team's point guard. And that was an awkward drive right there.
Kennedy McQueen comes back in. She'll have to wait an extra second because it's a 2-shot foul. First free throws up and good. Vieta, one more, knocks it down. She'll check out for likely the final time tonight. .140 left to play. Casey. Over to Mackenzie Smith. It's a step back 2. It's too strong. Snead fighting for position. Goes out of bounds. Hawks will keep it with 1:23 to play. Kaylee Griffin comes in for the Hawks. St. Joe's will use a 30-second timeout. With 1:23 left. So Utah comes to Philadelphia in preparation of taking on #1 South Carolina. And you see why this team not only went to the Sweet 16 a year ago and returned a lot of their impact players.
And guess what? No seniors. They all return for another year. And with a team like this, it'd be hard to think that anyone would transfer out of that system because each player for that Utah team works that system really well. And when you talk about the system, it's just movement.
Phyllis Matatown scores. Lehigh puts up 104 on LaSalle. Now the other side, it's a tight game between the Saints and the Rams. 104.
That's hard to believe. Now, I do know Lehigh runs a very transition type offense. So they're up and down the floor quickly, but 104 points. Oh my.
We're going to get a quick sub for some substitutions as both teams empty their bench. Alyssa Blank's in for Utah. So is Nene So. She's called for steps with 1:08 left. Lizzie Gruber's in. Emmy Devini's in for St. Joe's. And despite the score, it's going to be a near 30-point ballgame when it's all said and done. Hawks kept this one tight.
It really did. I mean, their second and third quarters where they won those quarters, the Hawks were impressive. It's just what we're talking about. Feely presence, the Utah team, when they needed someone to step up, she did.
It just seemed like she never missed in those situations either.
Unbelievable.
Free throws coming for Elise Sneed. Bridget Monahan comes in for the first time. Sneed's first is good. A lane violation called on the second attempt, and Sneed will attempt another. Rebound for the Utes with just about 40 seconds left. White on a handoff. Shot clock down to 14. Young tries a three. And a rebound for Monahan and the Hawks as the shot clock turns off. Griffin calls out the offense for St. Joe's with 15 seconds to play. Griffin. Gruber. No good. Rebound for Deja Young in Utah. And the 11th ranked Utes come to Philadelphia and hand the Hawks their first loss of the season. The final score, Utah 74, St. Joseph's 48. The Utes improved to 8-1, same record for SJU.